Hello everyone and welcome back! With this week's Tides of War missions, you can unlock the first anti-tank rifle in Battlefield 5, the Boys AT rifle for the Recon class. And in this video, I will show you some gameplay, talk about the rifle and its specializations, and give you some tips on how to unlock it. The Boys AT rifle was invented in 1937 for the British Army by Captain Henry Boyce, a member of the British Small Arms Committee. It is also known as the elephant gun because of its size and large bore. The rifle was mainly used between 1937 and 1943 to counter small tanks and other vehicles, but was ineffective against heavy armor, which is the reason it was replaced by the Piat later on. In Battlefield 5, however, the Boys AT rifle is the first gun of the new anti-material weapon class and comes with a 5-round magazine, a fire rate of 22 RPM and a lot of damage. But to aim down sight with the weapon, you always have to deploy it on an obstacle or go prone, so it's basically like playing with an MMG. And even though it is an anti-tank weapon, the Boys AT rifle is mostly used against infantry. Because just like the real gun, the rifle deals too few damage against heavy tanks like the Tiger or Churchill. Against light tanks like the Valentine or Panzer 38T, it deals decent damage, but it takes so long to go prone or deploy the weapon's bipod that the tank driver spotted and killed you already before you can do anything. But don't get me wrong at this point, the Boys AT is not a bad rifle. It's just much more effective and also more fun against infantry, as every shot is a kill within a distance of about 60 meters. Against tanks, it's comparable to the K bullets of Battlefield 1. It helps to damage a tank and to stop the repair cycle, but if you want to destroy a tank on your own, it's really hard work. You can increase the damage a little bit by equipping the APCR specialization that uses armor-piercing bullets, but it's still not as effective as a Panzerfaust or a Piat. Only when it comes to disabling specific parts of the tanks, like the turret, track or engine, the Boys AT is much better. Against infantry, however, it behaves more like the good old Tankgewehr, one of the elite classes that were also available in Battlefield 1. Sometimes it even feels a bit unfair, as the weapon gives your enemies no chance to react, but on the other hand, you need more time to go prone, deploy the bipod and aim down sight. You can also hip-fire the rifle, but the accuracy is of course not the best. But that's fine, so overall the Boys AT doesn't give you an unfair advantage. That also doesn't change with the specializations. Available are slings and swivels to switch faster to your sidearm, vertical recoil buffer, variable zeroing for long-range sniping, flashless propellant which reduces the muzzle flash, machined bolt that increases the fire rate from 22 to 26 RPM, quick reload, high-velocity bullets and the already mentioned APCR bullets that increase the damage against vehicles. I personally went with slings and swivels, as it's much more important with this weapon to be able to switch faster to the sidearm. With flashless propellant, so I can at least stay hidden for a bit longer before tank drivers discover me because of the muzzle flash. With a machined bolt to increase the low rate of fire at least a little bit, especially for closer combat. And of course with the APCR bullets, because without the specialization the gun is not really useful for its purpose. It's still an anti-tank rifle, so I also want to use it against vehicles and deal at least decent damage. Unfortunately, there seems to be a little bug with this specialization, because after equipping it I had no hit markers on tanks anymore, even though I could see that I dealt damage to them. This is a bit annoying, as you never know how much damage you really deal and you can only guess it. I hope this bug gets fixed soon. The missions to unlock the gun are a bit harder this time compared to the last 3 or 4 weeks. I completely excluded the Firestorm path and only did the multiplayer missions. So the first mission for me were the 1000 points with towables that are pretty easy to score if you know how. I would recommend to get into the tank battles map rotation, as there are more vehicles available, and then either get into a tank or a vehicle and capture objectives with a towable weapon on your back, or get into a towable AA gun, no matter if it's coupled to a vehicle or not, and just shoot planes. To couple a towable weapon, just drive close to it and press B on Xbox or circle on PS4. To disable a turret, go with a Panzerfaust or Piat and aim only at the turret. 2 shots should be enough to complete the mission. For the engine, you have to deal damage to the rear side of the tank, as this is the part where the engine is located. This works best with AT mines or dynamite if you just throw it a bit under the back of the tank and then blow it up. The other missions, destroy a tank, capture 3 objectives in a vehicle and earn 3000 points using vehicles or stationary weapons shouldn't be a problem. So if you struggled with the turret or the engine, I hope I helped you a little bit. If not, enjoy your AT rifle. And that's all for today. Tell me in the comments below what you think about the Boys AT and if you like it or not. And as always, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe to stay tuned. Until then, thanks for watching. I am the Catwoman and you are awesome.